Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, or whatever time you've been watching this video. So, guys, I just watched, another video of Boo. Boo is back, and the title of his video said, "Enough is enough." So, I listened to the video because I wanted to hear his perspective on, I guess he's just tired of whatever is happening with his name in social media and, about his breakup with his ex, Alicia Kim. Now, listening to the video, I was still trying to figure out where the enough is enough was coming from. But Boo highlighted two red flags in his relationship, which he said he should have used those red flags to, tell the type of family that he's getting into, and I guess which reflects on the type of life that he was going to have. So the first red flag is he went when he went on one of his visits to visit Alicia, the Airbnb that he was renting, it wasn't ready yet. It was going to be ready at a later date. So, he went by Alicia's house, and Alicia's mom offered him a mango, which he said, yes, thank you to. So when she brought the mango to him, he didn't have the mango. At the same time, he told her, or she put the mango in the kitchen. Now him and Alicia went out on the road and, spent some time on the road and stuff, and then came back. When they came back, he was asking for the mango. So he asked Alicia. She said, no, she didn't eat the mango. Come to find out, I guess the mom ate the mango because she said it didn't seem as if he wanted the mango. That's an easy misinterpretation. If you give somebody something, they're coming from overseas, and you give them something, maybe you thought that maybe he forgot, or maybe he didn't really want it, because sometimes, people are being, nice, and when they don't really want something, they say, okay, they will put it down. But then they went on the road. So it's to me, it's an honest mistake that the mom thought that he didn't really want the mango. So that is apparently a huge red flag for Boo. Although, so he's saying that he's not blaming Alicia because it was her mom. So I don't know how that is coming up to be a red flag and something negative for Alicia. The second red flag is their engagement party. The one he said, he paid for, he planned and paid for all the food, open bar, and yada, yada, yada. And he said that he was nervous because, he was going to be proposing to her. Now, he said that after everything, after the engagement party was wrapped up and all that stuff, him and Alicia was talking. Now, this is something that she told him, I guess, in confidence, because they're in a relationship. And you're in a relationship, your spouse is going to vent private things to you. They are not expecting what they're venting to you about their family members or other persons to come in the public, right? Because she would have had that level of trust in you that you're going to be her partner now. You're going to, be the one who she's sharing life with. So she should be able to feel comfortable in telling you things. Now, apparently, she was saying that, she was disappointed in her mother because, at the engagement party, well, neither Boo nor Alicia ate. So Alicia was thinking that, her mom would have thought to basically take care of her to ensure that she ate and stuff, is, if she didn't get a chance to eat. Now, I know, number one, she's telling you that in confidence. So why is it that you're bringing that up in the public? That is tantamount to basically you know, bringing up private and intimate stuff that happens behind closed doors into the public. And this is not, I don't see the red flag that's there. She's expressing her feelings toward you on what happened. A lot of persons I know, like on their wedding days, lots of people who get married, they basically don't eat on the wedding day. Either they're extremely busy. I mean, even though they sit down to start eating, of course, there's going to be speeches and stuff, and people are going to start coming up to them. So they're going to be going around and meeting their guests and dancing and having a lot of fun. So a lot of people don't eat when they get married, and an engagement party is tantamount to the same. So her expressing that to you, I mean, if I would have, if I was in her position, I would have liked that my mom is there at my engagement party. My mom should be looking out for me and making sure that, me and my, soon to be husband, that, we're eating. And you said that you saw, your sisters, two of your close sisters, they were able to make it to the event. So, I mean, your sisters could have done the same as well, gotten food for you as well. But that is another red flag that you're talking about. But I don't see where the red flags are. She's expressing to you, something, a way that she felt. She thought that her mother could have, done something to help her. But anyways, that's 40 minutes of listening to Boo, saying enough is enough. And he's breaking down that basically the family, he's basically calling her mom a pimp, because he's saying that everything Alicia got from him, she shares it with her mother. Some girls have very close relationships with their moms. She obviously has a very close relationship with her mother. But basically, he's saying that he thinks Alicia's mom pimped her out. It's because of that. Anything that Alicia got from him, she shared it with her mother. Apparently, Alicia's brother, was in a relationship with an older woman too. So basically, he's saying that the family, tend to want to go and prey on older folks. But I thought he's the one who pursued her. But anyways, he's saying that her brother basically preyed on an older woman and was in a relationship with that woman, and I guess the relationship didn't get very far. And then the brother was also trying to get into it with his Boo's sister, which is 2 times older than him, but that didn't work out either. And he's just throwing out these wild accusations. Okay, guys, I mean, I get it that he's hurt, that his relationship has broken down, and now he's also speculating that Alicia's child's father is more than likely an older gentleman. And he's also still very ticked about the YouTube channel that was showcasing their lifestyle, and he's saying he didn't get anything from that channel. But he said that the channel paid out, I guess, like $3,000 one month, and he didn't get anything from it. But then he told her to use that and pay the rent. Well, yeah, you got something out of it. At least it paid for 1 month, rent for wherever you guys were living. So he genuinely seems ticked off about that YouTube channel. And I understand, because if both of you are working on that channel, and the revenue is coming from that channel, the earnings should have gone into a joint account where both of you, should have access to those earnings. So if that was not the case, then yes, I do blame Alicia for not having the money accessible for both of you. Because if both of you were working basically on that channel, so both of you should have been compensated for the work that you've done. But also it depends on, I don't know what arrangements you guys have. So if you were okay with it at first and all the money was going to that account and you didn't have any problems before, then you shouldn't really be having any problems now, right? You should have done something about it then and not complain about it now. But in all fairness, if you both work for the same company, rather, because then that would be both of you working for the same channel and there was a payout, then both of you should have access to the funds that were generated from that account. But also, Boo was really ticked off about some, I guess, gentleman blogger who came out, and I guess Boo didn't like what he has to or had to say. But Boo, if your life is gonna be out there in the public, and I guess persons are out there bashing Alicia, for, I guess, whatever the breakup or what they seem as if she was wrong to you in the relationship, and then now that she's pregnant, about to have her baby, or maybe by this time she probably should have had the baby already. And I guess people are just ticked off because they can't see who the baby's father is. I guess they're just speculating on who the baby's father is. But you have other people who are against her. So I guess, unfair game plays twice. People are going to be against you as well, because people are going to look at the fact that the relationship has been over for over 2 years. And now, it really kind of looks bad on you, that, especially for most women, right? When they look at you, they know that a woman being pregnant is the most vulnerable time of her life, and especially when she's close to birth, because giving birth is a life and death situation. And on a normal basis, it's almost as if you were sick and in the hospital, right? Extremely sick. You wouldn't expect people to be bashing you while you were in the hospital extremely sick and nobody knows what's wrong with you or whatever. But the fact that she is pregnant, heavily pregnant, about to give birth, and this is when you now choose to come out and start bashing her. There are so many complications, that can happen for pregnant women, and especially most women would think that you are trying to, inadvertently harm her, because she can start having, high blood pressure, going through lots of stress, any complication can happen from what you coming out now. There was enough time, I guess, when you guys had just broken up for you to come out at her. But a lot of people, they are looking at it looking at you negatively now, that you could possibly be putting her and or the baby's life in danger by coming out now and putting pressure on her at this critical stage for her and the pregnancy. Albeit nobody can tell you what to do. If you were hurt, with what happened, and if you choose to come out at this time, then that is your prerogative. Nobody can tell you what to do with your life. But I'm just saying, the optics, it doesn't look good. It seems as if you're trying to penalize her now for being pregnant after you guys were together, and it's almost as if you waited until this time to try and make life difficult for her. It seems punitive to her, but I guess if this is a way that you can get back at her, then this is the way that you're going to get back at her. Nobody can tell someone who feels that they've been wronged how, when, where, or why they should, seek some sort of, revenge on the person that they think wronged them. But all in all, we're still waiting on that bombshell in which you make it seem as if she was WITCH, because all of this that you're bringing up now, it just seems like, petty, mundane stuff. Relationships go sour all the time. People have, differences of opinion in relationships, but nothing I see. You keep saying that she used you. nobody stays with you for 6 years if they're going to use you. If she only wanted the papers, as soon as she got to the States, or as soon as she was eligible for that 10-year visa, which is after 2 years of marriage, she would have left. She wouldn't have stayed with you for 6 years. And again, you are the one who filed for divorce twice. You're the one who filed for divorce twice. You moved on. So I don't think you expected her to sit and wait for you. Okay? So I just hope that you kind of get some clearance or some clarity soon, and go back to or do something additional with your channel. Like, I guess people will be interested or in you taking care of your birds, or your fitness lifestyle, your healthy eating lifestyle. Lots of people gravitate towards that kind of content, but to me, it just doesn't look good for you or on you with this content that you choose to come out with now. Just my opinion.